Hi, you're here for a reason. There's something that I'm going to say is going to click for you today. And I believe this is why I have the desire to create this video. Because ultimately, I think that there is someone out there that is going to receive it. And I had to let go of my fair share of limiting beliefs today to be able to stand here and talk. Today I want to talk about the liminal space. I think it's a very underrated topic. I don't think a lot of people talk about it enough. I think it's a really crucial phase in our self-development journey. And I've been in that space multiple times before and I had no idea what was going on. It can be incredibly disorienting, exhausting. It can feel like nothing's working out, things are falling apart. But I really believe it's such an incredible phase in our self-development journey. I think essentially it happens because we've just outgrown the place where we're at. We've outgrown the people, places, and things that we're at right now, but we yet don't have a solid of where we're going next, right? Who we're becoming, who our friends are going to be, the places we're going to be at, the amount of love we're able to hold, and the money that we're able to generate. And I think in that space, the becoming, the in-between, the liminal space, it's very crucial what we do there, because it ultimately either drags out the entire process or helps, not in a sense speed it up, but it helps us go through it with as less resistance as possible, because I was resisting it so much, and I know that resisting it only makes it even worse, because ultimately you're delaying the inevitable. So the liminal space is basically a place orchestrated by you, the universe, so that you can actively work on some of those limiting beliefs that you no longer wish to carry with you into the next phase, or that you can no longer carry because if you need to get to the next stage, they are not a vibrational match in frequency, and thus they keep you in quote unquote the old, but you're not really in the old because you've outgrown it, so you're in that space. I think it's an opportunity, it's a calling to dive deep and try to understand what are those patterns that are just happening on autopilot, that are not allowing you to move into this next phase, whether this next phase means for you a loving relationship, or this next phase means a better job, higher pay, a better apartment, or maybe just overall more freedom and more confidence and more acceptance or peace, right? Whatever it is that you're seeking and desiring in that next phase, there are active limiting beliefs and old beliefs that you've outgrown. Not to say that those beliefs, didn't serve you at some point in time. They absolutely have. They've served their purpose. They've allowed you to survive whatever you had to survive. But you've reached a moment in time where you don't need them anymore, and they're only causing a barrier for your growth. And on a subconscious level, you know that. This is why, let's say I hear it from a lot of people. They say that, I just can't find a job, I'm looking for a job, or I just can't find a relationship, I'm looking for a relationship. And it's not that the thing is being delayed to make you suffer, which a lot of people think that, it's being delayed, it's being dangled. I see it all the time around me, but it's not happening to me, and it can be incredibly heartbreaking, and I understand that. I think in that space, whatever within you that needs highlighting in terms of what are those patterns, am I still operating from those patterns, subconscious patterns, and how can I bring them to light? How can I bring them to light so that I can understand them? How can I ultimately just accept them, right? Because awareness is the first step. Being incredibly aware of them, and then allowing them to fizzle out and fade out, or actively letting them go as well, works. But I think ultimately allowing them to run their course and kind of like fizzle out, and by accepting them, because the more we run away from them, the bigger that they get as well. So that liminal space is an invitation for you to slow down and reconnect with yourself, reconnect with that inner voice that is ultimately guiding the way. It's really difficult to hear it with all the noise that's happening, whether the noise is, I can't find a job, all the bills, I'm a failure, I can't do this, I can't do that, my life's falling apart, or like my relationship, I just broke up and this is happening and all of this. It's really difficult to hear that inner voice when all of this is happening. And on top of that, really feeling like you're not actually moving forward, you're in that pause phase, it can be, incredibly, again, disorienting. So allowing that time to slow down and diving in deep within to understand. And the first question would be, what are my thoughts about generating more money? What are my thoughts about it? Is it cool? Is it a bit scary? Okay, why is it scary? And kind of like going down that rabbit hole of understanding, what are your thoughts about a specific thing? Because your thoughts about a specific thing ultimately show you where the leakage is. Basically, what are my thoughts about a healthy relationship? I don't believe it exists, it's never going to happen to me. That's the limiting belief that needs to be addressed, basically. And so just because you're in that uncomfortable space does not mean that life is not moving. It does not mean that you're not making progress. On the contrary, you're actually making a lot of progress. But ultimately, because you're making progress behind the scenes, it's not really shown to the world, but that is the real work. This is where real work takes place. And ultimately, because you want to build on the correct foundation, because you actually want to have a healthy relationship, not just a toxic whatever relationship, because you do want to generate wealth consistently, not just, on a whim. This is where the work lies, so that you can have those things for life, and you can have them, and that you can, if you lose them, you can generate them again because you have the correct foundations for them. So I just wanted to put this out there. Hopefully it helps out somebody, or maybe somebody resonates with that. But I know that there's an ear there somewhere that needed to hear this, because again, I wouldn't have had this desire to create this video altogether and put it out there as well. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for other videos as well.